This video is going over our Meningeal model. So, play makes it rotate. These buttons go back and forth. You can also just grab it and rotate it. And there's two hot buttons. The light blue one gives you the cranial nerve view. The dark blue one gives you the meninges, like so. And in a reversal of fate, my permanent markers up here did not show up, but the hot buttons showed up where they're supposed to. So this is the Meningeal model. You have his nose right here, which is rostral, his occipital lobe right here, which is caudal. There's his ear. And we're looking at the meninges, and we are looking at, more specifically, the meningeal layer. So what are the meninges? Well, this down here is your brain. Let's grab something to write on. So here's your brain down here. See that perfectly. So this is your brain right here. And there's your brain. So the brain, we have white matter there, we have gray matter there. The brain is covered by this delicate membrane holding blood vessels called the pia mater, which means soft mother. Now remember, white matter, two T's, gray matter, two T's, pia mater, one T. So that's the pia mater. And it follows the contour of the brain. It has blood vessels in it. It's a nice, pretty blue color. And this is anchoring blood vessels. Now there's this second layer of the meninges right here. That is called the Arachnoid Mater, and it has these trabeculae that are connecting this layer of the Arachnoid Mater with the pia mater. This is what stretches when you get dehydrated from walking through a desert, and it gives you the dehydration headache. Then we have up here the dura mater, the tough mother. And it actually has two layers. It has the periosteal layer that is forming the periosteum of the bone there. Then you have the meningeal layer, which is going to form divisions of the brain. So we have these meningeal layers that are connective tissues protecting the brain. The dura mater anchors it to the brain, but it has these divisions. We have the arachnoid mater, which connects the dura to the pia. And then we have the pia mater here, which is following the contour of the brain, letting blood vessels. If you have not watched the ventricle model video yet, the ventricles make this substance called cerebral spinal fluid, and it's going to rotate through here. And every once in a while, it erupts through an arachnoid villus into these sinuses that are going to drain this fluid out. So that picture there was a cross section. So basically you're looking head on like this. This is the sideways view. This is one of the meningeal layers. It's called the Flax Cerebri. And it's separating the right lobe of the cerebrum, which would be right here, from the left lobe of the cerebrum, which would be right there. Now remember those blood vessels? This would be the superior sagittal sinus. And this is the inferior sagittal sinus. Can we see it? See how there's a sinus going around here? That would be the transverse sinus. And then there's another one going down here called the occipital sinus. So that is what is going to be draining. So this is the Flax Cerebri. It is separating the left and right lobes of the brain. Then this looks like a tent. It's over the cerebellum. It's called the tentorium cerebelli. Tent of the cerebellum. Then this model doesn't have it, but there should be another Flax Cerebelli underneath here. This is a really weird view of the brain right there. But this is basically showing that Flax Cerebri right there. This would be the superior sagittal sinus. So it's separating the left and right lobes of the brain. Of course, they don't put it on the cerebellum. This would be part of the inferior sagittal sinus right there. That's the superior sagittal sinus. So here's a colorful one highlighting some of the regions, but you can also see the cranial nerves in here. So let's talk about the cranial nerves while we're at it. We can actually see the first one without clicking. That is the olfactory nerve. Goes to the olfactory bulb. And that's the sense of smell. This is the optic nerve. That is going through the optic canal and to your eyes. That is sight. And we can actually see a beautiful trigeminal right there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like the trigeminal. So This is looking straight down at it. There's the spinal cord with its horns. This is where the brainstem would be. So we have the cranial nerve number 1, and it's going, little axons are going through the cerebriform plate and the olfactory foramina. And remember the crista galli, well, the dura mater is anchored right there. So optic. Oculomotor is hiding out right here. That's oculomotor. And then we have the trochlear nerve. Now, the trigeminal, I like the other view because you can see the 3 branches. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And then we have the abducens, poor little abducens. This one is the facial and vestibulocochlear nerve. It's confusing because there are little 3 branches right there, but that's the facial. Then this is the vestibulocochlear nerve. So it's a little bit confusing. This is the glossopharyngeal, vagus. Notice how the accessory nerve is coming from the spine. 90% of the accessory nerve originates from the lateral side of the spine. It's a bad boy. It's coming from the lateral side of the spine. It's called a cranial nerve, but I have to teach it to you. Then the hypoglossal is right there. So that is this model. Thank you very much.